Today, I'll tell you about the tuna fish sandwich. Sure, you've had a sandwich before. It's certain ingredients of fresh produce and cold cuts that are stacked up in a particular way between two pieces of bread. Yeah, I'm sure you've had your fair share of sandwiches, but let me tell you a little something. You've ain't had no sandwich till you had yourself a tuna fish sandwich, and there's only one way that you should make that tuna fish sandwich, and I'm gonna tell you how right now. It's very important that you follow my instructions very carefully, or this whole operation is going to go terribly wrong. There are lives at stake, okay? People will die. So you need to listen to me. Every day in this world, a baby is born. So that's at least 365 babies a year. No one's gonna notice if one of them goes missing. Alright? Do you hear what I'm saying? No one's gonna miss one baby out of the hundreds that are born every hour on the hour. Alright? I think you're kind of I want you to catch my drift here. I'm not going to tell you what to do, alright? But you know what to do. You're smart. You're a smart person. I know you know. So once you've gathered enough scalps, you need to emulsify them into a smooth paste. You can use any number of tools, but I prefer to find old millstones with which to grind the baby scalps up into a cream. It needs to be gathered from the stones, scraped from betwixt the two stones. But that's the most important ingredient of a tuna fish sandwich. The next thing, you may have guessed this part that you might have needed this, but you're gonna need a tuna fish. Alright? Now, tuna fish are a type of animal that lives deep in the ocean, deep at the bottom of the Marianas Trench, the deepest point on planet Earth. Now, the pressures here get so unfathomably high. The weight of all the water above pushing down has made these tuna fish creatures two-dimensional. So you're going to have to use an extremely fine net in order to keep them from rolling up and slipping through the holes in the net. So you need a very fine mesh net, and you're going to drag it along the bottom of the Marianas Trench. And if you do 4 or 5 passes, you're bound to get a tuna fish, alright? And you're going to pull it up. You're going to, hand over hand, for several minutes, you're going to be pulling up that net onto your boat. And it's going to burn, and then it's going to feel like you just want to quit, you want to give up. The sandwich isn't worth it. But you need to get this tuna fish. You need to have this sandwich, alright? Okay. I'm serious, alright? So, you get this fish on your boat. You're going to want to club it so that it dies mercifully. And then you're going to want to take it and take that tuna fish and you want to cut it into 4s. Make it into 4 quadrants. And you're going to want to throw one of those back. It's important that you throw 1/4 of every tuna fish you get back so that it grows another tuna fish. This is called sustainable harvesting. So you get those 3/4 of the fish that you have left, and you take those and you take them to the kitchen. It's time to prepare the sandwich. So you need your bread. I like pumpernickel. Sourdough bread is good, but any old bread will do as long as it's not moldy old flatbread. You don't want none of that. So you take your bread and you want to take one 1-inch slice of bread and cut it into 1/2. You take one of these halves and you take it and you throw it back in. It's important to do this. Remember that sustainable harvesting we were talking about? That's exactly what I'm talking about here. You want to take half of that bread, throw it back. It's got a family. It's got offspring. You got if your bread has eggs in it, you're definitely gonna want to throw it back because it's gonna lay those eggs. They're gonna hatch, and that's all that's how you make bread. That's how bread's made. Everyone knows that. We're not here to talk about how bread's made. We're talking about the tuna fish sandwich and the perfect method for its creation. And okay, so you take that bread, you take that half, and you take it and you smear on a little bit of that creamy scalp. Delicious, tangy. You got to really feel the emotions behind what you're doing. That was an innocent little baby. It hasn't had any time to be corrupted by this world it lives in. That baby is pure. It's a blank slate. So, as you eat it, taste the purity. It's unparalleled. Nowhere else in the world will you find a flavor as dynamic and as pungent and potent as that of emulsified baby scalps. Scrumptious scalps. Can't get enough of them. Who doesn't love them? So once you got that scalp spread on there, you take your tuna fish, you lay a thin piece. They're two-dimensional, so you got to keep a close eye on it or you're going to lose it. You take that tuna fish, you lay it on there, and you take the whole thing, and it's time. Gobble it on down. You're hungry. You've been to the depths of the ocean. You've been in the nursery ward of the hospital. It's time for you to enjoy your meal. Bon appetit.